14, 2017 regular school board meeting, McGuffey School District. Roll call, please.
Mr. Finch.
Here.
Mr. Groot.
Here.
Mr. Haynes.
Here.
Mr. Harden.
Here.
Mr. Leisure.
Here.
Mr. Ross.
Here.
Mr. Shambo.
Yep.
Mr. Schreiber. Mr. Shigetlin.
Here. Please join me in the pledge of the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the middle school students of the month.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. There we go. At this time, it is my honor to present our Students of the Month for October. These students have shown excellence in the realm of academics and behavior and have exhibited the ideals of preparation, respect, integrity, dedication, and engagement that are part of our middle school philosophy. Our first Student of the Month is 7th grader, Mr. Tyler Wright. Tyler plays football here at McGuffey, and among his many interests, he noted that he really enjoys collecting cards, working on his 306-acre farm, and attending church every Sunday. Tyler is the son of David and Marcy Wright and has a brother, Evan, who is in 9th grade at our high school. When asked about his family, Tyler also stated that he has several aunts and uncles. In his life, Tyler looks up to Billy Wilson Jr., who Tyler informed me is a good Christian man who has made a successful life for himself. In conjunction with his weekly attendance in church, Tyler is most proud of being baptized and accepting Jesus in his life. Tyler's future plans are to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a good call. A goal that he stated he will work very hard to achieve. If this plan does not work out, Tyler also stated that he would like to one day be a carpenter. Tyler, we are very proud of you, and we know that whatever you choose to do in your future, you will be successful. Congratulations, buddy. If you want to get a good picture, come on up and take a picture of him presenting that. Yeah,
Be
absolutely.
fine.
Come on up.
Be fine.
Yeah.
Seriously. Congratulations, Tyler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our second student of the month, and I'll kind of talk a little bit about this in this presentation, was not able to make it here. So, our second student of the month is 7th grader, Miss Mackenzie King. Mackenzie enjoys showing animals at the West Alexander and Washington fairs, as well as playing goalie for the McGuffey Middle School soccer teams. Soccer is an extremely large part of Mackenzie's life, and today was her last game of the season, so that's why she wasn't able to make it. But we wish her good luck anyway. Mackenzie lives on a farm with her mom, dad, older brother, and until recently, her sister Abby, who just got married. Among her many accomplishments, Mackenzie is most proud of her grade point average of 4.0, which is definitely reflective of all her hard work and dedication to her academics. When asked who she looks up to, Mackenzie stated that she looks up to her mother, because she always puts others before herself, never complains, and is always willing to help other people out. In the future, Mackenzie plans to go to college to become a large or small animal veterinarian. Congratulations to Mackenzie, and we wish her the best at her game as well as in her future. Thank you very much.
Citizen Library representative.
Good evening. I'd like to start by mirroring the letter that Dr. Collette read earlier. Thank you very much for your contribution. Did I sign that? I don't think I did, but that's okay. I wanted to talk a little bit about our bylaws. I know last month I mentioned that we have new bylaws. One of the things that we were trying to do to make it easier for us at the library to do our budget and plan and move forward with things, we changed the way we are funded from municipalities and school districts. Before this, the formula that we used was 3% of whatever the pool of money that comes from the local share. That's how you kept a seat on the board. Okay? So 5 years ago, we were receiving about $178,000 from the local municipalities and school districts. So 3% of that was $5,300. So if somebody contributed, a municipality contributed at least $5,300, you had a seat on the board. Well, now, this year, local funding is at $70,000, which by using the old formula would mean $2,100 can buy you a seat on the board. So if this trend were to continue, next year maybe it'll be $50,000. So that number is going to go down and down and down. So for $1,000, you can have somebody sitting on the library board. We could end up with a 25-person board, which is a little unwieldy. And we could end up with a lot of people on there that are not really qualified and will not really help us move forward. So we changed it. Municipalities, we are going for $2 per capita based on the last census. So the majority of the municipalities that we deal with, it changed them by a couple $100 from what they were already giving. For the smaller municipalities, it's $2 per capita or $5,000, whichever is greater. So you need $5,000 basically to have a seat on our board. Some communities do that. For instance, well, then we have the Finleys, Donegal. They're South Franklin. It's anywhere between, say, $500 a year and $2,000 a year. But again, I guess if the smaller municipalities would want to contribute $5,000, which would be great, we'd love it, we'll have to put a board seat on. As far as school districts go, it's a completely different funding formula. It's $5 per enrolled student, which I can't think of what the number is for McGuffey right now, but that puts us at $9,000 something. So the $10,000 that was contributed this year lets me keep my seat on the board. Thank you very much. Now, that's not to say, these are just guidelines. If next year you would like to go back to your $19,000, I would be more than happy to accept that also, because it does a lot of good things. So, with that being said, a lot of the good things that it does, I passed out a handout. We had our board meeting Tuesday. We had a young lady come and speak to us about this cover letter that we have from the Italian Heritage. She is putting together a oral history, a written history of all the immigrants in and around the immediate city of Washington, Pennsylvania. Turns out she comes from a family who all 4 of her grandparents came from Italy. So she's 50% Italian. This program that she's doing, she's going to put together a really big book. It's going to be a reference book. There's going to be 3 copies. Our library is going to have one. The Heinz History Center is going to have one. And the Italian Heritage Committee is going to have one. And this is to be used for any future genealogy research, any future research that families would want to get involved with. She's very much using our genealogy department in our library, which is one of our feathers in our cap. We love this place. It's provided a lot of information, primarily because Washington, Pennsylvania was one of the stepping off points for moving west. So people would come from the East Coast to Pittsburgh, from Pittsburgh to Washington, and go from there. A lot of people settled. They said, hey, this is a nice place. We're going to stay here. So we have records back into the 1700s of people who have come. So she's been using our resources, our genealogy department, and she's very excited. It's a very interesting project. But we're extremely happy about it. And this is just one of the things that some of your money goes to help fund, is our genealogy department. On the back, I included another sheet of all the neat stuff that's coming up. I'm not going to go through it all, but I would like to say that Dr. Cyril Wecht is sold out, so I'm sorry I didn't know about it last month, or I would have told you. But again, thank you very much for supporting the library. Hopefully that we can continue this relationship. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
High School Student Council Representative.
Good evening. My name is Eric Durbin, and I'm a senior here at McGuffey and the student council president. And I'm here to tell you some of the things going on in the school right now. So Tabitha Baker was crowned the 2017 McGuffey High School Homecoming Queen. The homecoming dance on October 7th was a successful student event with over 250 students in attendance. The NHS sponsored a blood drive on October 12th. We met our goal with 30 donors registered and 22 donations collected. NHS inductions are scheduled for November 20th at 6:30 p.m. Mrs. King and Mrs. Deacon-Sillistatin, Drama Club co-advisors, are planning a spring musical production. The production will be Annie Jr., a condensed version of the popular musical Annie. The show dates are set from March 8th through the 10th. Auditions will be held in November for any middle school or high school student interested in participating. If you're interested in helping in any capacity, please contact Mrs. King or Mrs. Deacon-Sillistatin. The McGuffey varsity cheerleaders are sponsoring a Pink Out Night at the last homecoming game, for the last home football game on October 20th to show their support for breast cancer awareness. They sold over 300 t-shirts and raised over $1,300 that will be donated to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. The McGuffey Highlander Marching Band brought home first place at the McKeesport competition last weekend. They will compete this Saturday in the Tournament of Bands Region 8 Championships, held at Penn Trafford High School. The boys soccer team is qualified for the playoffs and will play at Quaker Valley on Saturday at 2 p.m. And the cross-country teams are competing for individual championships at the Whitfield Cross-Country Championships at Coopers Lake next week. The girls' volleyball team has qualified for the playoffs and will play next week at a site yet to be determined. Hunter Donahue and Trent Melville have qualified for the state golf championships beginning this weekend in York. The golf team came in third in the Whitfield Team Golf Championship. The golf team won their third straight section golf championship this year, and David Chapman won the individual section golf championship. All of the fall teams, except one, have winning records and were qualified for the playoffs. And tomorrow night's football game is senior night at the stadium for all fall sports not recognized at their own senior night, including football, golf, girls tennis, girls and boys cross country, cheerleading, and marching band. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good report.
Okay, at this time, I entertain a motion to approve the minutes of September 21st, 2006.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Need a motion to approve the general fund schedule of bills from September 22nd.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Number 3, I need a motion to approve the food service schedule of bills dated October 19, 2017.
Second.
Amount of $38,000. I have a motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The motion to approve the treasurer's report for the month of September.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. At this time, we'll entertain public comment on agenda items only.
Mr. Chairman, you only have, you have two.
Okay.
I call Mrs. Franz.
Good evening. I'm Lisa Franz from Morris Township. Please forgive me, I'm going to read this right off the paper. I'm responding to agenda item D1, approval of the minutes from the September 21st, 2017 meeting. Let me start out by saying that I enjoyed my 5 years here at McGuffey, and nothing will ever change that. I think about all the hardworking people, teachers, parents, and especially the students in the district. They have all touched my heart, and as I sat typing this, tears came down my eyes and rolled down my face. Maybe I'm too emotional. Well, maybe, but that's me. I'm a people person, always have been and always will be. I like to think that just as my life was touched by my time here, that I touched people's lives also and maybe helped them along the way. I'm a talker, a hugger, an ear to listen to when no one else will. A patient person and a joker, a morale booster and someone who likes to see people happy and smiling. Lately, there hasn't been as much smiling on my part. My life has been in a whirlwind since May 19th of this year, when I was told I was being furloughed and my last day would be June 19th. It has been a roller coaster ride ever since. I found a job and was getting settled in, always thinking of the possibility of coming back when someone retired. Because when I was furloughed, that was pretty much the only way I would come back when I inquired. The roller coaster ride began again. Thursday, September 21st at approximately 9:30 p.m. during the school board meeting, it was announced that the furloughed 10-month secretary will be called back to a newly created right-to-know position. Friday, September 22nd, I received a phone call around 12:30 p.m. from the superintendent offering me a 10-month secretarial position, but with no job description and no further information other than it will start with dealing with all the right-to-know things. Monday, September 25th was the date I was told by the superintendent that I had to have an answer as to whether or not I was going to accept the job by 12 noon. Tuesday, September 26th at 12 noon was the date I was able to secure after explaining that was not enough time to decide. From the above timeline, you can see that the position was offered to me less than 24 hours after it was announced at the school board meeting, and I was given less than 24 hours to reply with an answer, now less than 48 hours. It occurred right before a weekend with no way to talk to my union rep or my current employer. The point still being that I was given 24 to 48 hours to make a major decision with vague details of what the new job entailed. So vague that there was not even a job description or any details besides I would be working on right-to-knows. I even stated that I was willing to wait for her to put one together and she could even fax it to me. The reply was she was not sure yet exactly what the job will entail, and she would tell me if she could, but not fax it. After several questions on my part, I was given the same reply. It's a 10-month secretarial position, so you will be doing secretarial duties. I just ask you, I have one more paragraph. I gave you 5 years. Can you please just let me finish this? In respect to me. Thank you very much. My point is, if you are truly interested in the fate of the district, students, employees, parents, etc., you don't hurry up and throw a job together during an executive session, during a school board meeting, and try to pass it off without any thought. I am standing here before you tonight to set the record straight. I am not much of a risk taker. Heck, I won't even buy a pair of shoes online. I'm old school, and there was no way I could accept the job when it was presented with no details, no job description, etc., and no consideration for the furloughed staff, myself, you are asking to fill it. How on earth could anyone in my position even be able to compare the pros and cons of this offer when there's nothing to compare? No meat per se, job description, nothing. Not even who I would be working for and where I would be working for sure. Therefore, based on the lack of information, time to contact current employer and union rep, I was basically forced to decline the position as offered. Thank you for your time, and I leave you with this poetry quote by Kent M. Honesty and frankness make you vulnerable. Be honest and frank anyway.
Mr. President, next speaker, Mr. Shambo.
I forgot to say that I'm asking that letter be entered into the public record. Ms. Todd, thank you.
Frank Shambo, Donegal Township. Ms. Todd sort of answered the question I had regarding the beverage agreement. It seems that a couple of years ago we talked extensively about a flavored water program that was supposed to have been brought into the school. And we discussed the health benefits of water as opposed to pop. And I just wondered whatever happened to that program, and is the Pepsi program in addition to the flavored water program, or is that, did the flavored water cease to be, or what?
Flavored water is part of that program.
I'm sorry?
Flavored water is part of that program.
So it was the Pepsi Corporation that sponsored the flavored water program?
Both Coke and Pepsi have flavored water programs. They both have them.
But the ones that we voted on, I don't recall the Pepsi or Coke logo being attributed.
I would have to look at the minutes, but we were a Pepsi district, so I would think it would be Pepsi, but I will have to look at that.
Fine, that's all I had. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, that's all I have. Thank you, sir.
Okay, committee recommendations. I need a motion to approve the request from Waller Corporation to formally extend the contract time to November 10th.
I make a motion to table this motion until after executive session.
Have a motion
Well,
to
there
table.
is no motion on the table, so it doesn't need to be tabled. If there is no motion, we can move on and discuss it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Unless there's a motion made, we will not table.
Okay. Skip that and come back to it. I need a motion to accept the donation of $150 from Saffron Valley Campground and Cabins LLC for the terms, conditions, and policy numbers.
Second.
Motion and second. Any questions on the motion?
Peter, roll call, I need to abstain.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mr. Haynes?
Yes.
Mr. Horton?
Yes.
Mr. Lucia?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Shambo?
Yeah.
Mr. Shriver?
Yes.
Mr. Shigenza?
Yes.
Mr. Petch?
Abstain.
Thank you very much.
Thanks before, is there a conflict in terms of receiving the money?
Yeah, I'm the owner of the business.
Well, you're not benefiting from that standpoint, but I would fill out the form. He still has the right to abstain as he wishes. And I'll ask you to fill out the conflict of interest.
Okay, superintendent's report. Need a motion to approve the Fall Festival Dance fundraiser to be held on Saturday, November 11th in the high school gym.
moved.
Second. Motion and second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Need a motion to authorize Megan Van Fossen to submit Pennsylvania Department of Education School or Community-Based Competitive Employee Grant in the amount of $40,000. Have a motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We need an executive session, yes. Personnel litigation and contracts.
So moved. Do I get a second?
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 3 minutes after 7, we're in executive session.